The Springboks have yet to win in this season's Tri-Nations, but Australia have not won a test match on the Highveld since 1963 and are winless in 4 starts at Loftus Versfeld. In 1997, they suffered a record defeat here, going down 61-22 in Carl du Plessis' last match as Springbok coach. Supersport commentator Warren Brosnahan scored his only try during that game. It was also the final test match for the Rolls-Royce of fullbacks Andre Joubert. A gridiron-style line-out throw from Joubert created a stunning try for Percy Montgomery as the Boks embarked on a record-breaking 17-match unbeaten run. Good afternoon and welcome back to Loftus Versfeld. If you've just joined us, welcome to Loftus Versfeld, Pretoria, the administrative capital of South Africa, and Bulls headquarters, Bulls country. They've dominated the Super 14, or been the dominant South African side in Super 14, but we're here for the 5th test match ever played between Australia and South Africa at Loftus Versfeld. Green wigs go with the Victor Matfield masks, 30,000 they've made, and the people will be wearing them in honor of the Bulls captain and vice captain of the Springbok side. A wonderful spring day here it is, and the Wallabies moving around. If compared to the old days, palatial situation in terms of the change room. In the front rows, Mafu and Robinson have just been here a couple of months ago with their Super 14 teams. Bayinga up against John Smith. Sharp, the most capped player in the Australian side. Dean Mum, 110%. A very strong back row led by Rocky Elsom. Brown and Pocock all over the park. Very, very strong indeed. Then we come to the half-backs with Quade Cooper comes back, just 22 years old they are. Will Genius filling the boots of Georgie Gregan brilliantly. Matt Giteau moves to number 12, and Ashley Cooper in the unfamiliar position of centre, just his 7th cap in that position. Drew Mitchell, James O'Connor, Curtly Beale, also unfamiliar at fullback. 20 years old is O'Connor, 20 caps to his name. There they are, last moments as they just get the last moments of instruction there. You see number 26 is Rob Simmons, who has come on the bench in place of Higginbottom, who has a muscle spasm, and he's a later replacement. But this is Victor Matfield Day, ladies and gents. In the front row, Gerthro Steenkamp, Danny du Plessis working that tight head position very well indeed at John Smith after his triumph of 100 caps last week. Well, it is Victor Matfield on his home ground, the captain of the Bulls. And what a day too for Flip van der Merwe partnering him. Juan Smith returned with great distinction last week. Pierre Spies on home ground, Skalkberger man of the match. Hougaard and Steyn, both hometown players. And look at that, just 22 years old, Hougaard with the 3 caps, working into that scrum half position. The last time these two played together was back in September last year when they started for the first time. And then Francois Steyn, of course, the talk of the town. Brian Habana scoreless in his last 4 tests. Will he break Joost's record here today? As we will have a look at the bench in a moment. Everywhere there, the Victor Matfield. Well, he's got dark glasses. I've never seen Vic with dark glasses on. But we'll have a look at the bench in a moment, Joel. And look at the crowd.
Yeah, wonderful. Some open spaces in the stand, it must be said, as the Australians, led by the captain Rocky Elsom, who really has progressed not only as a leader but become a world-class blindside flanker, will lead his team out onto the field. And for those of you who thought today was quite possibly a dead rubber with the All Blacks having won the Vodacom Tri-Nations already, you look at the look on the faces of these players, and when you see the look on the faces of the Springboks, you will know that there is nothing dead about this rubber today. A big game for both teams as they embark on this 12-14-month journey towards the World Cup. Fair bit of building to take place with the All Blacks having leapfrogged the game into another space. And this Australia, one of the teams right now who are favoured to peak at the right time come World Cup 2011.
Well, they're just walking onto the field because there will be a moment. Well, now Rocky Elsom moves up into a jog. There is Australian support here. That's good to see. There's no wind at all here this afternoon. Perfect conditions for rugby.
particularly for this man, isn't it?
Curtly Beale.
Sure, at the back there. We chat about little match breakers in teams, and this Australian team full of match breakers. Unpredictability, the nature of the game for both Curtly Beale and Quade Cooper, and then some real stalwarts in the midfield.
Well, he's done it 11 times as captain before, but now it's the moment for the man we will hear in a moment. I'm going to keep quiet so you can hear what the reception that the crowd give to Victor Matfield. I'm not sure that they will give him as long as John Smith had out of the field, but here it is. And on field we have Owen and Kamani. Owen, what a reception.
Absolutely. Good afternoon, Hugh. This is what you expect from the Loftus faithfuls. Victor Matfield has started his rugby until the Super 14 coming through. Made a big mark. He had Loftus, the people really congratulating him up on their feet.
So look at that. We are disciplined, clinical, hungry on the walls there, all the sides, as John Smith for the 75th time brings the rest of the Springbok side onto the field, Joel.
Well, I said, look at the expressions on the face of these players. It's a slow and clinical walkout. We saw that side saying clinical and hungry. And boy, they must be clinical today. They need to be hungry. They should be hungry. Coming off a 5-match losing streak, this is the day where they can find some forgiveness amongst these local fans. John Smith captaining the side out. He's a man under pressure. A little bit behind the curve in terms of his form of late, and very harsh on himself last week in having missed that final tackle, which allowed the All Blacks to win it. Jacques Fourie returning and forming a very considerable relationship again with Jean de Villiers in the midfield for South Africa. But as important as it will be for them, up front, in the hands of Victor Matfield is where it's all going to count.
Well, Victor Matfield with his children, and John Smith with young Okusla Zulu, at 11-year-old from Centurion Christian School. He is the mascot today. Big moment for those kids. And now the national anthems. John Dellinger will sing the Australian anthem, a South African award-winning artist. And then a big moment for South Africans as Albert Tox van der Linde accompanies Karen Ferreira, idol star, in the South African national anthem. Here we go with John Dellinger.
Baie dankie dames en heren. Dis nou tyd vir die volksliedere. Ladies and gentlemen, the Australian anthem is sung by John Dellinger, the South African anthem is sung by Karen Ferreira and Tox van der Linde.
Australians, oh let us rejoice, for we are young and free. With golden soil and wealth for toil, our home is girt by sea. Our land abounds in nature's gift of beauty, rich and rare. In history's page
Well done, Albert Tox van der Linde and Karen Ferreira, and so too John Dellinger. Just a moment earlier than that, they had a few moments silence. Unfortunately, Butch Lochner, famous Australian Springbok loose forward, died yesterday and made his debut in 1955. Here, as we have a look at those replacements, with Simmons coming in for Higginbottom. Otherwise, just a little change there. Kankowski coming onto the bench, and De Jong, of course, having been in the starting side last week, reverts to the bench. So Australia, with their coaches settling in to their coaches' booth. The referee, Alain Roland, for the 12th time blows a test with South Africa involved. Of course, played against South Africa for Irish Provinces back in 1994 in Belfast at scrum half. Rocky Elsom won the toss and elected to kick off, and John Smith had a choice of direction. So Victor Matfield, 100 games, made his debut 9 years ago against Italy as a reserve. Started the next week against New Zealand and has made that number 5 jersey just about his own for the last 9 years. Pierce Spies needs a big game today, and one can await that on his home ground.
Okay, Gabby.
Quade Cooper
Time on, please.
will begin this test match, the 5th here at Loftus Versfeld between these two nations, the 70th in all. South Africa have won 41 drawn, and Australia have won 28 of them. Hougaard, Burger. Well, he needed that to go a little bit further than that. Matfield was in there, but it's controlled by Australia, so it comes for Genia. Now Cooper away. This is where Brown and them are very good, as O'Connor is there. Staines got it well covered and was outside his 22. One of the things that Joel and I noticed when he was warming up Francois Steyn is how his left foot's improved.
Yeah, he kicks the ball a mile, well, mainly with the right foot, but certainly works a little bit on the left. It's a good start for Australia. South Africa, well, the poor kick is probably what undid them. Received the kickoff well. We know how important it is to start well, but Australia will certainly be happiest right now.
So Fainga with the throw. Nathan Sharp at the front. It goes to Elsom, Kenya, Cooper, Ashley Cooper. Saying that unfamiliar position really at centre. Now it's with Elsom. Good build-up this by Australia. Kenya, Pocock, and Beale gets... Well, look at this. Drew Mitchell got away there. Desperately close. And, well, Kurtley Beale's right there. Drew Mitchell thinks he scored. So does Pocock.
Sean, try no try,
He is
please.
supremely confident in the fact that he may have grounded the ball.
And Sean Feldsman, it was brilliant hands there by Kurtley Beale. Sean Feldsman has another tough decision to make.
Some good quick hands. That's on the line. That looks like a try. In fact, that looks most certainly like a try. It's the perfect start for Australia. South Africa under pressure, under the cosh right here from the start. Cut inside, went hard at the line. A couple of defenders there. He's entitled to have a second placement of the ball, not a third one though. That is probably the one doubt that might be in the mind now of Sean Feldsman. Hits the ground now. That's in fact, that looks like it's almost on the line already. Then he places it on the line, and that would most certainly be a try.
Well, he's allowed to place it once he's gone to ground. You see there, J.P. Peterson tries to go in. Scott Burger, I think, tried to slip a hand underneath him, but I think Drew Mitchell, who was released by very, very quick hands from Kurtley Beale, may just be awarded this try. Owen.
Yeah, Hugh, it's not a great start by South Africa, but this one on the front foot for Australia. They got within the striking zone, and Sean Feldsman's going to make the final call if they rewarded the 5 points. One angle, the first one we saw, it looked like Joel highlighted, did touch the line. The second one behind the poles, pretty suspicious. There was one too many movements.
Elena, if a decision for you?
Yeah.
The ball was grounded short.
He's got to make the final
Okay.
call.
Attacking scrum.
Scrum a taking ball.
Yeah, okay.
Well, the ball was grounded short, and in some ways, Joel, they're showing it on the big screen, which I think is very unfair to the TMO, because right now we've probably got 35,000 people in the ground. It's unfair to him.
Well, JP Peterson got skinned on the outside, not focused in defence. And, well, there was one angle there where it certainly looked like a try, one that looked a little doubtful. Sean Feltzman was a conservative, probably rightly
Wait till I
so.
engage call, please, gentlemen.
And South Africa, somewhat of a let-off, I would think.
Well, they're still under pressure because of this Australian put into the scrum.
Pause.
Those two men, well, it's a free kick. Away goes Pocock again. Scores problems for South Africa. Kenya, now Mum. Kenya keeping the onslaught going by Fainga. Kenya again, here comes Sharp. Good drive back by the Springboks. Kenya, will he go on his own? Matfield couldn't make the tackle, and Will Kenya gets the try.
Well, probably just reward. Drew Mitchell thought he was over it. Looked for all money that he may well have been. Will Kenya certainly ensured that Australia do come away with the 5 points, possibly the 7. Good continuity, carried up strongly, slowed it down here, waited for the runners, which was very clever of Kenya, and then threw the little dummy. Matfield couldn't hang on. And it's the perfect start for Australia, and woes for South Africa. The little show and go, the pace, the strength. We know how strong he is. Low centre of gravity. Will Kenya has got Australia off to the perfect start.
So Matt Giteau will be entrusted with the initial kicking duties. He's come used to Quade Cooper also having a couple of shots at goal. But Matt Giteau moving in amongst the upper echelons of point scorers in Test rugby. 633 points to his name. And it's now 635. So a very good start to the Australian cause here at Loftus Versfeld.
Well, it's a super try, the little show and the go, but most importantly, if you go back to where it started, it came from an average kick. Springboks fielded the kick off pretty well, and from there let themselves down.
Good control there by Sharp once again, ensuring possession for Kenya. Cooper, Pocock to Elsom. See how he keeps the ball alive. Now Beale thriving with a little bit of space, and he's through. Now Ashley Cooper saying kick it downfield, but Elsom's on the left. Has he found Elsom? Has he got the pace? Brilliant back tackle there on Elsom. Here goes. Oh, look at that. Oh, James O'Connor in, but Kurtley Beale carved the Springbok defence to pieces.
Well, the one thing we did say before the game, the unpredictability of Kurtley Beale will be a factor today. And right from the start, first touch, he has opened up the box defence, and he's caused havoc. Rounded off by O'Connor, but look at this. There's 5 Springboks drifting across, no one filling that space on the inside. The philosophy just too good. And staying left isolated at the back. Hurkot got across quickly, but when you're exposed like this with numbers running on, you're always going to be in trouble. And the timing of the run, the pass, superb. South Africa at 6s and 7s.
You see the continuity too. We'll hear from Owen and Kamani in a moment. But Kurtley Beale up in a scrum half position. Perfect reading of the play on.
Yeah, absolutely, Hugh. What you'll see more of that, because they play very well and they attack the tight fives. We're very lazy to come across. We'll see a lot more and get the second, fourth phase from Australia. The reasons for the tight five not closing up that gap as 2 more points added on to Australia's tally.
Well, it's not the way South Africa wanted to start. Under pressure. And having lost 5 in a row, Kurtley Beale has opened them up. Second time they've been, well, they've had their try line crossed. For a second there, it looked like Rocky Elsom was going to go all the way. Kenya again up with the play and timed the pass well.
Sharp. Well, South Africa really under the cosh here. Genya Cooper, Pocock. The speed of those loose forwards is unsettled the South Africans as well. They're playing at a rapid pace. Forward pass, says Alain Roland, and a little bit of respite for South Africa. Now, this is going to be the first bit of possession for them. We saw Hougaard get possession, kick it up high, didn't go far enough. We've now had nearly 7 minutes in the game. Morné Steyn as yet has not touched the ball.
Well, I don't think too many of the South African players have touched the ball. This is where the forward pass came. Is it forward? That pass is not forward. Nor is that. Bit of a tough call, it must be said. Well, Peter de Villiers said before the game his team hadn't had too much luck so far. They've got a little bit of luck there. Is that what kick-starts their campaign now? First scrum of the game, Owen will tell you. Ben Robinson, Yanni du Plessis will have a head-to-head battle, but this first scrum will be about Guthrie Steenkamp. Just keeping his left side square and enabling Spies and Hougaard to free the ball up nicely.
Yes, spot on.
Well, Ben Roberts, sorry, Owen.
You're saying Joel's got it right, just a slight left shoulder. Hopefully play away from the base. And you'd expect someone more like John de Villiers to take it up.
So it is. Well, no, he said hold on. It looked like he was holding his hand up for a free kick to the Springboks.
I think the captain took a scrum very quickly. JP Peterson is standing right next to Jean de Villiers. Might be where the carry comes from. Maybe one dummy runner, one carrier.
Touch.
And Jacques Fourie, we know how well he runs outside Jean de Villiers.
Well, trying to take them on at the scrum, and it's not working for them. So, you know, you think just let's get a bit of possession. Let's get the backs into the game. Let them get a feel of the ball.
And basics first. Before you can play and get the play moving, you've got to scrum well on the scrum here. John Smith, you can see a little bit bent there, and then came the second scrum, the second shove from the Aussies, and going up in the middle, but a big effort from the Australian front row.
Hougaard, Steyn. Jean de Villiers just got far enough for Hougaard to be on the front foot. Here goes John Smith, powers his way over. John Smith gets his 11th try in Test rugby. And from absolute silence in front of Joel and me, the crowd have now gone to leave.
Well, this could well be a set move. I can see the front row having a little meeting. Yanni Guthrie and John Smith just having a little chat about the next scrum. But Juan Smith run the absolutely perfect angle. I think that's a set move. The dummy runner's heading outside. The cutback after Jean de Villiers is carried, opening up a big angle to run through, and boy did he do it well.
You're also just keeping the ball in front of the forwards. All those tight fives that to go forward. Turns on the front foot, made it a lot easier for South Africa.
No problem for Morné Steyn.
Well, it looked like Victor Matfield making the dummy run on the outside. Juan Smith came back on the angle. And between the angled run of Jean de Villiers, the dummy run of Matfield, the big smiles there, I'm convinced that's the set move.
Well, it certainly was a great answer for their first bit of possession for South Africa to score, because they were under real trouble. Habana's taken his eyes off it. And look at this. He's let in O'Connor. O'Connor was wide to it. And a dreadful mistake by Brian Habana.
Well, I'm astounded. How often do we chat about how important it is, having scored, to focus, concentrate, and make sure on the kickoff. Habana, ever so slightly eyes off the ball. The error came, and O'Connor, 20 years old, 20 caps. But the handoff, the strength, and the pace, in he goes far too easily.
Well, no wonder they're quiet in the Springbok coach's booth, because they will be really astounded at that reply by Australia after South Africa just got back into it. And John Smith has strong words to say. He's got to call his troops to order here. Well, you can't complain about the action. Less than 11 minutes and 4 tries being scored.
It's a festival. So the first real tough kick of the afternoon for either team. Gets out from the corner.
Well, it's another superb kick by Matt Giteau. So 11 minutes, 21 on the board, Owen.
Yes, and another great start from that kickoff. You wanted to receive that one, use the boot, get back upfield, but pouncing on opportunities, and the third try for Australia.
Sharp. He's got very good hands, Nathan Sharp. Now Pocock. He's the man that runs it up. He and Brown are very quick around the park, the two loose forwards. Not to say that Elsom's a slouch. This is Brown. Kenya, Cooper. Well, Burnstoke reasonably favourably for Francois Steyn. His first touch of the ball. He's thumped it up in the air, but Kenya has done very well to control that under a mark.
Yeah, a fair bit of noise out there, I'd imagine. Kenya was looking at Cooper, trying to find out exactly who was making a call. Probably couldn't hear clearly. Kenya shouted loudest. Made a good catch. Huge up and under from Francois Steyn. Once again, some good patient carrying of the ball. Deep inside their 22, it must be said, by Australia before Quade Cooper cleared.
We were watching Francois Steyn practicing earlier on, booming over kicks from his own 10-metre line. Huge stuff. This is goodbye. Gertrude Steenkamp penalty, South Africa.
You're part of the tackle, you must let him go.
And on his home ground, I would say John Smith will say kick for goal. No, he's decided against that. Decides that the 14-point deficit is too much to make up. Then there's a very well-directed kick by Morné Steyn.
Well, you can see the look on the faces of the fans here at Loftus, a little bit gobsmacked at the moment.
Off the line, goals.
But an opportunity for the Springboks to chip away at that massive advantage the Australians have got very early in the game.
Well, 61-22 it was back in 1997. Is it going to be another huge 80-pointer today? Steenkamp powers for a try! What a game. I mean, it just is ridiculous. 14 minutes, not up yet, 5 tries.
And this time made possible. The good take from Spence. Australia really quick to stop the rolling ball. And watch how quickly South Africa move this ball to the back. Matfield peels round. The second peel from Steenkamp, and over he goes. Well orchestrated, well structured, and very difficult to defend against. Here comes the first pushing recovery from Australia, but not able to cope with the second and third.
So Gertrude Steenkamp over for his 4th test try.
120% from here on in.
Good decision from John Smith. Going for the try, not the 3 points.
And Morné Steyn is dead on target. I'm not sure that I've ever seen a test match where in the first 15 minutes there have been 5 tries.
35 points. Oh, carries on like this, we'll be exhausted, the players will be exhausted. No doubt about that. Steenkamp, over he goes, the little celebration.
Well, now Matfield makes the catch and there's a huge roar from the crowd as their hero takes up the mantle of security. Now Skalkberg in possession, Hougaard, Steyn. Chased down there from Drew Mitchell, a good clearance by Morné Steyn. The line out right in front of Owen and Kamani.
The question is, why doesn't South Africa do this a lot more? Do the basics, secure the kickoff, use the boot, get upfield. All of a sudden, they're back on the front foot.
So territorially, Australia with 58% of it. Fainga. Sharp. Down for Kenya. Cooper. Ashley Cooper. Good defence in midfield by South Africa. I rather think they should be rush defending a little bit more. Sharp. Good tackle by Smith. Australia, as they will want to do, to build it up. Mahafu. Now Gito hasn't had much ball in broken play. Steenkamp had him covered though. It's a good tackle by Gertrude Steenkamp. Smothered Gito completely, appreciated by Chili Boy and Ricky.
And it's the second penalty that Saif Fainga has given away. Diving in on the man on the ground there. It was Gito carried it up into the wall of defenders. Not sure that was the right decision, and then
Yeah, I think it's Mum and Fainga there, Joel.
Yeah. Probably just needed to stay on his feet and step over rather than hit into the man on the floor. A little bit of blood on the face of Selesi Mahafu. So opportunity again for South Africa. They're walking slowly to the lineup. It's been a frenetic 16 or 17 minutes.
Flip van der Merwe too, right behind him, Madfield. Goes to Spies. Same procedure as last try. Steyn. Well, Cash.
Well, consistency is what the players, the coaches look for, and that's exactly what they're getting from Milan Roland there. Penalising Fainga and now penalising Yanni du Plessis for exactly the same.
Not often you see Morné Steyn going in on a sort of crash ball situation. He'd actually carried it far enough for the Springboks to get on the front foot.
Yeah, over the gain line they were. Now you've got to be careful here, and it's Yanni du Plessis straight to ground, really, over the top onto his elbow. Technical penalty, quite tough, some might argue, but certainly consistent from Milan Roland.
Stand in the middle of the line. Thank you.
Elsom, Kenya, Cooper. Well, that's good. Much better rush defence by those Springbok centres. Now, is this the moment we're going to wait for Francois Steyn? Will he step up and have a shot at goal?
Well, Morné Steyn might have the distance here as well.
It's Morné Steyn who will do it. He's actually taken the responsibility and said, hey, I can kick that distance. He showed it against the British and Irish Lions.
Well, Joel, it's a great attempt. We kicked for touch, we rewarded with the 5 points. Surely should back our pack of fours.
Yeah, it's a tough one though, Owen, isn't it? When you're under pressure and you trail by 14, you tend to have to chase the game. When you trail by 7, you can calm things down and head back towards your own patterns, your own style, your own way of playing. I think that'll be what's on the front of John Smith's mind. Get back to what he considers and what the Springboks consider to be their game rather than someone else's game.
Another interesting little innuendo here is that Morné Steyn's now moved up to 235 points. Is this? Whoa, he's got easily that he's given this a walloping thump. Fabulous kick. Now moves up to within 2 points of Joel Stransky in 3rd position on the all-time list.
It's a great kick. We were worried about the distance. Well, he's had 10 or 15 metres to spare. Here's a man who's been colossal in the last couple of weeks. Juan Smith.
Habana now, the concentration, a plenty crowd. Raw again as Habana makes the catch. Remember, they also gave him a bit of the bird because he moved from the Bulls to Western Province this season to play for the Stormers.
Good chasing from Drew Mitchell. Just cut down the angle for Morné Steyn, who, as a result, had to kick it quite straight. And found a decent touch, but probably a tad closer than he would have liked.
Quick line out, but loose. O'Connor has tied it up well. Good work by Flip van der Merwe.
Push.
Kenya, Mum, stopped by Spies, driven well by Spies there, penalty. Over the top, says Alain Roland. I don't think that was Spies.
Steenkamp, I think, Gertrude Steenkamp, the man lying on the wrong side. Well, it's full of tries, full of penalties at the moment. So it is Kurtley Beale, the man we saw practicing some long-distance kicks earlier, who will have a shot at goal. Straight over the top there, that's the problem. Off his feet, Steenkamp. Very difficult in that situation to stay on your feet, but the laws are the laws. The other interesting factor is the Australians really speeding up play under a bit of pressure in the lineouts. Elsom only just won the lineout before, and this time very quick to get the ball in.
Well, we saw too that Kurtley Beale was kicking them over in practice earlier on. No problem with distance, direction is off. Now Brian Habana decides to go. Well, I'm not sure that was the right move.
Well, I think it's maybe a little over-eagerness, trying to atone for the error he made earlier. You can understand wanting to get on with play, run it out, but his kick probably not the best kick in the world.
Yeah, he's a good kicker of the ball out of hand and would want to have been looking for the halfway line there. Sayat Fainga, the hooking, or the hooker of the twins. South Africa have won the ball. Matfield in control. Van der Merwe covers. Habana at scrum half. Smith hovers.
Push back.
Hougaard, Steyn. De Villiers giving chase from the front. Beale is there. He's knocked it on. Now Berger secure. No, couldn't for South Africa, but well, Drew Mitchell got away a little bit easily there, but I think the Springboks at that stage had relaxed.
Yeah, the arm was out, knock on. Kurtley Beale jumped high and proudly, but unable to catch it. Here comes the line-out steal here, tapped at the front. Good work from Flip van der Merwe. Got up early, the ball going to the back, and he managed to steal it at the front. And here's that little knock on. The key with the up and under, it was absolutely perfectly positioned. The hang time superb. It enabled John de Villiers to actually run fractionally beyond. It enabled JP Peterson to be there jumping for it as well. And Kurtley Beale ended up fielding in a bit of traffic.
Time on, Gabby. Here we are. Put it in the middle. Crouch!
Well, the crowd in a far better mood than they were after the fourth minute of this game, when South Africa were 14-0 down.
Well, it's very interesting looking at the scrum from the helicopter view, from the eye in the sky. You can see the bums of the two locks in each team, how they vary, and as a result they vary in their approach.
You go straight, you stay down, okay?
Still more lectures in the scrums, but you'll see Victor Matfield and Flip van der Merwe very, very tight in the way they bind. Nathan Sharp and Dean Mum very loose in the way they bind, and as a result probably not as compact and as strong.
Pause, engage.
Well, it's not a bad scrum from Australia. Hougaard, Steyn, de Villiers. Oh, very nearly broke through. In fact, Jacques Fourie looked like he was interfered with. Here goes Joan Smith at power once again. Now Steyn, Fourie. Lovely dancing by Jacques Fourie. Hougaard gets into position, takes now. Here comes Van der Merwe. Up to the 22. Hougaard, Steyn. Berger.
Away goes!
Again for the scrum half. Spies waits. John Smith is there. Good layback by Spies. All the movement to the left of the ruck. They haven't got space. That John Smith took his eyes off it, and it's been knocked on. Turnover Australia. Worked out by Brown. Beale, Kitto, Cooper. And a skip to Drew Mitchell. They've run it out brilliantly here, have the Australians, and Habana will get back now. He's got work to do here, Brian Habana. Steyn is there. Always isolated, Habana. Wood and Cooper takes quickly, gets away, and the run in there is from Dean Mum. So another massive turnaround by the Wallabies as Dean Mum gets his first international try.
And the bonus point try for Australia. Not that it matters too much. Again, the decision-making ability from Australia superb. Realising there was space on the outside, Beale moved it out wide. The kick infield from Drew Mitchell was good. Abana almost did superbly here. Not too many options to kick, and then Franstein dived straight in over the top. Bridging, and we've said Alain Roland has been consistent on that, and Australia had the ball beckoning them, the line was, and the quick tap and go. The frenetic try-scoring ability of both teams just continues. 26-17 is looking at some of the record books if it carries on like this.
Well, we remember that score here is 61-22, so that was 83 points. And Joel is quite right. This is moving up hugely. Another success for Matt Giteau.
Well, the cross kick was a good one. Abana did well to chase back, but as soon as the ball was in the hands of an Australian that close to the try line, defence coming back slowly, South Africa were always going to be in trouble. John Smith had no price.
And also that man with his arm in the air, Kurtley Beale, quick reactions by him to be up there as well. Well, Moore on the field in the hooking position, so not quite sure what happened to Fainga. He's off for a blood, I'm told. Now Giteau.
Stand 6.
Hougaard.
Good hands.
Steyn. Well, it's a thumping up and under, but it's going to go into touch on the full. So the Springboks making some elementary mistakes.
Looking very big is Francois Steyn. That's a bit of blood being sprayed around there, and obviously Fainga would like to get back on as quickly as possible. But Steyn, one or two questions around his fitness in the last couple of weeks, and of course the big question is how quickly can he readjust to Tri-Nations rugby.
Elsom down for Sharp, Cooper, Ashley Cooper. Quick ball for Genya, Mum. Australians certainly playing a pretty quick fire type rugby here. Cooper, Brown.
Release tackler!
Genya, Giteau, Ashley Cooper, Sharp. Oh, and Sharp found a little opening there. They are the quick handling, quick movement, opening up some space for those Australian attackers.
Don't seal off that ball, stay on your feet,
Victor
please.
Matfield in his 100th test who was across to make the tackle. And Australia once again very cagily moving the ball around. It's a hit one side, hit the other side. They're playing either side of the ruck and then moving it wide. And this time the South African defence up to it and winning the penalty.
He knows.
So the show of the ball, the dummy, Matfield with a great tackle. Fourie was the man in there trying to win it, and again it's a bit of what we used to call bridging from Ashley Cooper.
Get back 2 meters now, 2 meters, please. 2 and 2, please. Out.
Flip van der Merwe, Hougaard, Burger. Now JP Peterson hasn't had much of the ball. Hougaard, John Smith needs to keep it alive. Hougaard, Steyn, now for Francois Steyn. Here goes Yanni du Plessis. They've got to be patient here, the Springboks. Hougaard, Smith. Comes for Hougaard once again. Steyn, Burgaard will carry it up. Tackle behind the advantage line though. Springboks have to regroup. Now Hougaard finds Flip van der Merwe. Good line of defence for the Australians. Good hands by Steyn. Hougaard, Peterson. Well, he's got it over the advantage line and gets it up to Matfield. Got to keep the momentum going here inside the 22. Hougaard, Steyn, Berger, bumps the one, stays on the 22. Hougaard again, here goes Spies, good defence as Smith secures the ball.
11 phases, good continuity.
Well picked up by Juan Smith. Now Hougaard finds Berger, needs a run out. It's for Hougaard again, he can do it. Hougaard can do things. He clears space, and the number 8 is in on his home ground.
Well, I said it earlier, good continuity in South Africa, going through the phases, making the hard yards. Schalk Burger with a couple of big carries, stayed on his feet long enough not to be isolated, even tried the little pop out, and then the little fast speed, shimmy, through he went. And Spies was following up like a real good number 8. But most importantly, the patience of the build-up vital as South Africa went through the phases, kept on it, trying to penetrate, trying to find a little bit of space to attack, trying to find the gap, until eventually it opened up. Super try.
Well, the emotions of the crowd must be going up and down like a yo-yo.
Yeah, you're spot on, Hugh. They are just enjoying some good rugby out there at the moment. As soon as the Springbok play well, play to their potential, it gets the crowd behind them, and that's what the people are here for. But he had superbly finished, and just offloading the tackle was one of the secrets to that try.
And South Africa looking for that offload. We saw Schalk Burger trying to offload, and ultimately we saw a very good offload from Hougaard.
Habana. Now he's got that quite a long way downfield. It's on the bounce, and now the crowd love their former hometown boy. It's Kurtley Beale. He's had a lively game, Kurtley Beale. Banana kick for him has gone into touch. So much better work by that man there.
Well, we said earlier he wouldn't have been happy with his kick. He would have been delighted with that one. A massive thump.
Well, I have to tell you, Joel, that Morné Steyn has moved up equal with you as third time of all time scorers in Springbok history.
I'm not sure whether to be happy or sad right now.
Juan Smith got the touch, but was it enough? This is Brown. So a mistake at line-out time by the Springboks. Now Cooper for Mitchell. This time Peterson a little more committed to the tackle. Cooper once again, Mafu. Grabbed by Juan Smith. Good layback for Genya. Cooper, this is his speciality. That step and dance. Gito's left it behind. Now can the Springboks turn it to advantage? No, they can't. Scrum.
Well, Cooper was just a little concerned that he was going to have the ball ripped and chose to rather pop it back. Gito couldn't control. Just a little hint there of Quade Cooper's ability to step and go through. This is where he realised he might be in a bit of trouble, so he took. In fact, what he probably could have done is got back to his feet. He wasn't held at that point. Gito just not able to pick it up, and Cooper just in the move before, showing his probably a little bit of lack of experience still in skipping away the overlap with a big long pass.
See 30 passes for Hougaard. It's a good number. And he gives another one. Steyn.
Wait!
Just looking for territory here, Morné Steyn. The bounce is good. The direction is good. It's a very good kick. Will be Australia's ball to the line-out, but Percy, the kicking coach, likes it.
Oh yeah, I think every South African likes that. It's a superb kick. And most importantly, found the space, no Australians to get back and restart play quickly with a quick throw in. And now with only 8 or 10 metres from their goal line, it'll be very hard to work the ball away and then find some space to put in the long kick. Game has changed, doesn't it? If you give away the ball, it takes minutes before you get it back.
2 meters out. No.
Well, the crowd, a large part of the crowd didn't hear the referee's whistle when they saw Juan Smith take that ball in space. It was another great roar of approval. Jim Williams, and behind him, Mr.
They
Deans.
don't have to have one. 2 meters out. 2.
Well, that's an ambitious throw, that. And it didn't go to hand. Ashley Cooper eventually did very well indeed to secure the ball. Genya away for Team Mum. Quick hands there as Moore drives it up and couldn't get it to Mitchell. It's a good pressure from the Springboks.
Great pressure from the Springboks. Steenkamp heavily involved. Got a little bump under his eye there, showing the scars of war. Just good hands from Robinson in the front row, and then Hougaard just shut out the man on the outside, and that ball probably needed to just stay in the hands, settle it down. Good defensive pressure.
Well, Victor Matfield needed all his skill to secure that ball at the line out.
That's once.
Now, can they get the drive going? The referee said that's once. Hougaard now for De Villiers. Couldn't find Farid. The counter from Drew Mitchell. And Moores knocked it on. This is where they've been so dangerous, the Wallabies, counter-attack.
And I think they adopt the approach that, particularly on a knock-on, on a turnover ball, as we'll see here, De Villiers trying to offload to his partner and just unable to collect it was Farid. The Aussies deciding that even inside their 22, they can throw the 50-50 and play the risky play.
Someone in there is releasing the pressure. He rolled in last time. He popped up the other time.
Nobody went anywhere in the last scrum.
He's on the down. Has to go on the sideline. Oh, look, I could see him go down.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is we can't scrum him straight through. If they're popping up like that, it makes the scrum go.
Correct. I have to deal with that, all right?
Well, and now will John Smith have his word.
Time back on, please, Gabby.
Well, it's interesting that a flanker, Rocky Elsom, is giving the ref advice on the scrum. John Smith might be thinking, well, I don't need to get a word in here. We'll just scrum.
Simple.
So let's have a look at the bums, really, of the 2 second rows. You'll see that Van der Merwe and Matfield very close. And look at the wide space between Team Mum and Nathan Sharp.
It's slowing down. I'm slowing it down. Okay? Wait.
We have a penalty or a free kick goes to Australia now. Rocky Elsom's words have been listened to.
Pause. Engage. Jump in.
Brown, Genya. Well, that's pretty just a straightforward play. Number 8, number 9, bit of space, kick it out.
Yeah, on the edge of half-time, probably the wise play.
See Will Genya, the 2 passes light of what Francois Hougaard has done. A little more kicking by him.
And a try to his name as well.
So we move up to half-time, and the mood down there, line out in front of you.
Well, the crowd's definitely still behind the Springboks. There's a lot of communication, especially from John Smith to his troops, just saying we need to calm things down. A lot more communication than we saw in that first 4 minutes. Generally very satisfaction that first half of the Springboks, but 1 or 2 lapses of concentration cost them. But performance-wise, they've been right up there.
So Fainga back onto the field. Smith with the throw, finds Spies, Hougaard, Steyn, De Villiers, straight through. Oh, and the banner was on his right. He wasn't facing the right way. Jean De Villiers, well, again, he was holding on. Genya takes quickly. Habana's out of position. It's well done by Spies there. Now chance for Juan Smith. Flip van der Merwe in behind him. Now Burger. Habana going in, Hougaard, Steyn, Matfield, De Villiers. Jean De Villiers cut their defence to ribbons. Just so happened he was looking left and Habana was flying on the right.
Yeah, on this occasion, though, Jean De Villiers getting cut in half. Matfield, the man in the midfield, making the pass to him, and De Villiers getting a bit of man and ball. And eyes off the ball, the knock-on came, and then the big hit. Matfield tidied up, but The last chance of the first half will go to Australia in what has been a scintillating first half of Tri-Nations rugby.
Crouch. Sit. Touch. Pause. Engage.
Brown, Kenya, Cooper, Gito. That ball's gone a good old anywhere. The siren has gone for half-time. 4 tries to Australia and 3 tries to South Africa, plus the penalty by Steyn. I mean, an amazing half as 52 points have been scored after just 2 minutes. Kenya got in, O'Connor got in, then O'Connor again, and then South Africa replied. So now we've got it at 28-24. This is a really, really tough game, this. Triumphant moments for the Springboks, but the Australians have 4 to their name.
Yeah, and I'm just looking at some of the errors and mistakes that the Springboks have made. I can't help feeling that there's 1 or 2 signs of a little bit of doubt in the minds of some of these players, maybe a little bit of lack of confidence. Brian Abana with a knock on, John de Villiers has knocked 1 or 2 on, and if you're coming off a 5-game losing streak and the pressure starting to mount on the team, well, those little doubts are fully understandable. Australia, on the other hand, will be pretty happy with the start they got off to. 2 very early tries, and then they managed to hang in there and almost go blow for blow with the Springboks. But second half now is going to be about the mental ability of both these teams. The Springboks will have to be strong mentally, come back, be confident. And Australia will want to get rid of this voodoo that they've never won at Loftus Versfeld.
And Owen Kamani is our on-field man.
Yeah, Hugh, another thing you've got to look out for. If our tight 5 tires out early, we're going to see what we saw from Curtly Beale coming from Quade Cooper, attacking that tight 5, especially second, third phases. So the guys need to make sure they're very sharp and make their tackles.
And the coaching team will have to get the timing of the changes right, Owen.
Sharp. And he's burst away from Funamab. He's done well as Nathan Sharp. Now Kenya. Loose forwards come in very quickly. Brown this time. Kenya. Elsom. Opposite number holds on to him. Kenya. Now Sharp once more. He's got himself into that good position. Robinson hovers, but it goes a little wider than him. Kenya. So a good sort of clinical start by Australia to the second half. He's certainly built very strongly, will Kenya.
Yeah, the carry up kept on going the same direction, this time always to the right, and a little chip over the top. I'm surprised he kicked eventually. So many carries may well have kept the ball in hand, but having said that, Frans Steyn, a little cumbersome at the back at the moment for South Africa.
So these areas vital for both sides, but this time for John Smith to find.
No, too early. Numbers.
Well, the free kick goes against the Springboks. Victor Matfield, who's an intelligent man, doesn't seem to know why.
It's a very technical penalty, that. Okay? I think Matfield's come in too early, that's the problem. And I think the problem is Alain Roland chatted to the line-out a little bit earlier in the day about that, the exact point, and now he's penalised the box.
Simon McDowell and Nigel Owens are the assistants for Alain Roland. Good scrum by South Africa. Kenya's knocked it on now. The Australians can't play it, and Spies realises that. Habana will chase this downfield. Is that too far? No advantage scrum. You hear Alain Roland saying Francois Hougaard's cross that he didn't direct that kick better.
Well, he's probably crossed that he didn't direct it better. He's probably crossed that he kicked it in the first place. Put a lot of pressure on Kenya, won the ball, and fair credit where it's due. The Australians, not understanding and knowing the laws, didn't play the ball. But then it became a turnover ball, and turnover ball is the best ball in the world to attack with. And Hougaard kicked it, and well, he was lucky it was advantage because he kicked it poorly.
Touch. Pause.
Scrum has been a bit of a concern, Owen. What's going on down there?
You both jumped the gun, okay? Now listen, I spoke to you in the first half. My talking is over. I'm going
Robbie Deans in the middle there. Jim Williams, who was closest to the camera. Former Wallaby forward.
Well, Joe, I think both the Packer forwards are pretty eager at the moment. And we saw that we get a bit of pressure on the opposition ball. We haven't just got at a solid right shoulder. What we're looking for now, there's the one from Yannick du Plessis.
Now Steyn, this is the other Steyn, and that's misdirected. Now these situations in terms of the South Africa's progress in this, one's got to say that they've made some very elementary errors, should I say.
Yeah, and Bob Skinstad in his blog, big outcry from the fans saying, why is Gio Aplon not playing? Is it the right decision, having been so good last week, to drop him for this man, Frans Steyn? And right now, those fans who have blogged in and asked that question probably made a very valid point indeed.
And that's great work by Flip van der Merwe, and John Smith reacted quickly. Hougaard, Spies.
That ball's out, surely.
Well, Hougaard needs to play this quicker than he's done, so I'm not quite sure why the delay in those situations. Peterson up onto Drew Mitchell. Now, Peterson also has not really been in this game. It's South Africa's advantage, though, at scrum ball. So, working their way back into Australian half as Drew Mitchell looks disappointed.
Yeah, again, one of those 50-50 offloads. Probably not the right option this time. Seen it a couple of times from the Australians. JP Peterson with a chase there and not making the tackle, and they're very low and difficult one for David Pocock to control. So, Rod Steyn out on the far right wing now.
Spies, well, decided to go on his own, was well hunted down by Elsom. Now Juan Smith. Hougaard, Smith. Hougaard just got on the inside of Fainga. High tackle, said Alain Roland. Now, there may be a little bit of chatting here. We haven't yet seen the final decision by the referee.
Against you going high. Okay, you get the low, tackles down.
So Morné Steyn will kick to goal to bring this up to a one-point game if he succeeds.
Well, Alain Roland got the wrong arm angle out. That's where the high tackle came. Always difficult for a big guy when a smaller guy steps inside of him. And, well, you can see the look on the face of Francois Hougaard, almost appealing for the penalty, as he took two stiff arms around the neck.
So this to move into third position, all-time scoring. Second, Naas Botha at 316. And Monty way ahead at 893 with Morné Steyn brings the Springboks to within 1 point. The most points in a Tri-Nations game, 1997, New Zealand beat South Africa 55-35 in Auckland, 90 points. And that's a good thump back by Hougaard.
Yeah, it's interesting looking at the different approaches of the two teams. South Africa now quite happy to say, let's do the basics well. They kick it deep, we'll collect it, we'll gather. We're not going to try and fight a couple of rots and mauls. We're going to just kick it and thump it back down there. Australia on the other hand, gather, go through 3 or 4 phases before they make the kick.
Kenya, very flat, Cooper. Oh, and that looked like a high tackle as well. Morné Steyn's in a bit of trouble here.
Okay, you get him down, please. That's got to get them lower. All right.
Now there's a little pushing and shoving. One of the Wallabies, and I think it may be Nathan Sharp, is down on the far side of the field.
Tackles.
And so
Marcus here.
South Africa having put it within 1 point and now given away the penalty where Matt Giteau can make it 4 again.
And here's the high tackle, almost reflex from Morné Steyn. But the law says high is dangerous, and dangerous it is. I've got a feeling that Nathan Sharp's ankle injury, and it is an ankle injury that he's being treated for, will have come from the line out as he went up. May not have been brought back down safely by his own lifters, and that is normally where those type of injuries come from. Stretching it out, he's not a happy camper, and the man who came onto the bench at the very last minute, Rob Simmons, may well get on here for his 4th cap.
I'd recommend that, try and pick the important things you want to talk about. Listen to me. Yeah, well, if it is, we pick it up, okay? But I don't want you kind of every single time that there's something there, you better pick your moments at this point, all right?
4 out of 4 for Matt Giteau, 5 out of 5 for Morné Steyn. So these kicks, very, very important in the whole contest of the game, because we've had plenty of tries, no problem with distance, no problem with direction, a very good kick, Matt Giteau.
And of course, Matt Giteau during the week got some help from the former Springbok player, Bram van Straten, who's obviously helped. He's striking the ball superbly this evening as we see the first real substitution. We saw Fainga go for blood earlier, but it's Donnie Rousseau now who replaces Flip van der Merwe. 1 blue ball for another here at Loftus.
Morné Steyn, the chair is for Donnie Rousseau, who's immediately secured the ball for South Africa from the mistake by Australia. Smith, Hougaard, Burger, Steyn, de Villiers, building it up inside the Australian 22, picked up by Burger, forced forward a little bit, in goes Jacques Fourie, now it's Hougaard, are they offside? Steyn, just be careful he's not isolated, picked up by Hougaard again, good little run here by Jacques Fourie. This is great, there's the try line in the background. As the good men if they go it right here, South Africa, they're good men. Steenkamp looks for his 2nd try. Hougaard again, there goes Morné Steyn, couldn't find it. Francois Steyn gets his 6th try in international rugby, and South Africa going to the lead. Absolute bedlam here at Loftus Versfeld.
Penalty advantage being played for South Africa, but the space was out on the right. It took a few phases to get there. Steenkamp nearly made it over. Francois Hougaard was trying to move it as quickly as possible, and it could have been any one of 3 or 4 players who scored. Eventually a little untidy and a little messy, but Francois Steyn picked up beautifully. Good hands from the big man. And the Springboks lead for the first time. And well, we said it in the first half, from the kickoff, you need to make sure you collect the ball safely. Australia failed on this occasion, and Donnie Rousseau with a very early and important touch.
Well, also down at your ground level, Morné Steyn to get that ball away. Great work.
Absolutely, but if anything, that was a good change. Good chase upfield in the kickoff, got numbers to the breakdown. Donnie Rousseau wanted back, but we made heavy weather of it, Hugh. There's so many opportunities. You were calling it, numbers on the outside, but the big lads wanted to crush it up. We've got to get the ball, be more clinical when the opportunity presents itself. But nonetheless, a great score by South Africa.
Well, this to take it into a 3-point lead. I was just saying kicks are important, and they always are. And will this hold its line? Another beauty!
Kick. Good gather from the big man. Owen said it. Hands were on a couple of times, and just indicative of the way South Africa play at the moment. The big fella's carrying it up strongly, but out wide, the tries are waiting.
Hougaard, Steyn. The Australians tried one down midfield. It didn't quite work for them now. Beautiful bite. Jean de Villiers is back on the Australian 22 as Drew Mitchell ties up. Well, he tidies up pretty well there, Drew Mitchell, but the referee will go back and knock on by South Africa. John de Villiers full of running tonight.
Full of running, full of jumping as well. Got up high, got above the younger Kirtley Beale. Carried it up strongly, but just had it ripped in the contact situation.
Well, CJ Lindo's 30th birthday yesterday. Waiting for a present from Peter de Villiers.
Crouch!
That present would be cap number 64.
Touch! Pause! Engage!
Still Brian Habana waits for that elusive try. Tryless now in 4 test matches and level with Joost van der Westhuizen.
Yeah, not too many opportunities have come his way, has it? The South Africans not moving the ball out to the wings a lot. We've not seen the ball in the hands of Habana or JP Peterson, and in fact not even in the hands of Frans Steyn at the back.
So again, it's the interesting scrum formation that the Australians use.
Outside, stay!
John Smith driving Kenya. Cooper. Good chase up by Matfield there, because Cooper forced onto the weaker foot, and it was taken back into the 22 as CJ van der Linde does indeed get his 64th test cap.
Watch the front, okay?
Jannie du Plessis leaves the scene.
It'll be a much happier South African coaching box right now.
Matfield brings it down nicely. This is a good drive forward by South Africa. They've got the weight going in the correct direction. Scott Burger working very hard. Fainga was in amongst them there. Hougaard, now it's Peterson. Oh, well, he did well to keep the momentum going forward. Hougaard dangerous in this area. Was that a tip tackle? As Smith tries to work it back now. Who will get the ball? Scrum South Africa. The Wallabies under pressure. Dick Muir, I don't know what, quite circumspect. Is that the right word?
He always looks a little bit smug. I think he would, because the scoreboard's looking good.
Is that not a tip tackle?
Well, I don't think you can give that as a tip tackle, because Faria's died for the line almost. He's not driven the body into the ground. He's picked him up. He's not had the opportunity to put him down safely. But it's good pressure from the Springboks, good pressure from the forwards in particular. JP Peterson, one of the first touches he's had in the game, where he really, good little twist and almost got through for the try.
So Mafu leaves the scene to be replaced. Where I'm looking for James Slipper. There he is, the youngster, just 21 years old. In June, James Slipper played last year, can you believe, for the Australians in the under-20 World Championship. So big ask. Slipper, 7th test for him against 101 test run. Space for the line. Held up. Great defence once then, got to say, because we couldn't see because of the upright.
Great positioning.
Great defence there on Pierre Spies. Owen, you better view.
Yeah, better view as well. I thought maybe there's more space on the open side. He ran back to the channel where he got the scrum off. He should have gone not against the ground. Have a look at that. He's got Poco's got a scrum off as well. But nonetheless, a better striking zone by South Africa. I'd expect the exact same move, a slight right shoulder this time around. We've got fresh legs on. CJ van der Linde. And Spies can stroll over the try line.
Well, here he goes. Francois Hougaard. Now Burger throws. This is so desperately close for South Africa as they move it up a little bit. Juan Smith couldn't hold on. Now can South Africa hold on? It's been turned over. Cooper, as he is wont to do. Here goes Beale. Packing on the pace. Gets it away for O'Connor. Beautiful pass on the inside. This is a wonderful breakout by Australia. Work here for Peterson. So what looked like a certain try for South Africa, they would now defend him. Now Will Genia. All action here at Loftus Versfeld as Brown moves it wide to his captain. Elson, driven back by Juan Smith, amongst others, comes for Genia. Giteau Brown. Beautiful ball out to Quade Cooper. Now it's Ashley Cooper. Well tackled by Gerthro Steenkamp. Kenya, Gito, Mum. Now South Africa have to hold on for dear life. They've got the 3-point lead. Kenya well tackled. Cooper, can he weave his magic? No, Gerthro has him. Now it's Ashley Cooper bursts, but he is smothered. O'Connor is in the thick of things now. Good layback by him. Kenya, Cooper. Now they've worked it back to the Springbok 22-metre line. Wonderful breakout by the Wallabies when they were really under pressure. Now it all seems to have come to a dead stop.
I think everyone's tired.
Robinson, good little burst by the loose head prop. Kenya, Gito. And the skip past Elsom, and this is Mitchell. Darts on the inside. And they were fully extended. 3 Springboks there. If they get it out here, should be a try for. No, it isn't, because the Springboks have closed in. Now it's Kenya. They need to watch him on the outside. Beale, Cooper, Habana came, and it's
What a tackle!
Ashley Cooper spilt it, and the tackle came from that little pocket battleship, Francois Hougaard.
What a tackle! One-on-one, the most difficult tackle anyone ever has to make. And as that step came inside, Hougaard up to the challenge. Australians had worked it magnificently to get it out wide. Look for all money like the try. And it's a great tackle. Good solid hit. Dislodging the ball. Textbook stuff. Well done, Francois Hougaard. But again, we've got to go back to the Australian breakout. That is just magnificent. From their own goal line. Picking a one-on-one with CJ van der Linde did Kurtley Beale, and Australia going almost the length of the field.
Well, so Richard Brown now takes a breather, and you just have to have a look.
Ben McCalman was the man who made his way onto the field. And no surprise, Gerthro Steenkamp getting a little bit of attention there. And I think that'll just be a little tactic from South Africa saying, slow it down now for a second, recompose ourselves, make sure the scrum is good, win the ball safely and clear it well.
You're looking at the clock now, almost 60 minutes. This is the kind of game where you want to shoot a guy like Ryan Kwiatkowski. It opens up plenty, and you know how devastating when the game opens up. Ryan Kwiatkowski will certainly get the Springboks behind the Australian defence.
Yeah, a couple of those heavyweights up front also looking a little bit tired. John Smith looking like he's run a few kilometres tonight already.
CJ taking it in, just both front rankers slipping. But generally we've been good in this department this evening.
Well, Ben Robinson in that blue scrum cap on the Wallaby side, also very highly rated in world rugby as a scrummager. I always like that touch, so they just stick their heads together. Space. Hougaard, Steyn, he's under pressure because of the little hesitation by Francois Hougaard there, because somebody just moved down in his way.
Sean de Villiers was the man who cleared out at the ruck. Spiss had carried it up, de Villiers cleared out. And that man there, Hougaard couldn't see his fly off. And as a result, the slight hesitation. Well, I just said it, John Smith looking a little bit tired, and I think it's the right decision by Peter de Villiers. Last week, that man was out on his feet and exhausted at the death and slipped the tackle that was costly. Maybe the timing spot on this evening.
So another bull takes the field. Rocky Elsom, Kenya, Cooper. Gito is very quick off the mark. Gito, Mitchell well held by Fourie. Kenya. Sharp, he's recovered well as Nathan Sharp. Heavily bandaged ankle, Mum waits. Now gets back to Kenya. And then the drive forward, the loose forwards always in midfield there are doing well. Now this is Slipper. Can they hold on? Jim, drive for the line by the youngster. Wonderful run by James Slipper. Springboks under pressure now. Cooper, Gito, brilliant pickup. Not the greatest pass. Now Robinson. Difficult man to bring down. Very mobile. Tough defending for South Africa. Elsom for Gito. Now Cooper looking for Beale. He's been and O'Connor couldn't find Ashley Cooper on the outside.
Yeah, good defense.
South Africa have taken a quick throw in. So Peterson is at scrum half. Where's Hougaard? Now he comes trotting across. Peterson for Steenkamp. Help there from Chili Boy. Now for Steyn. And Beale just knocked it backwards. Had a useful game, Kirkley Beale. Drew Mitchell. What can he conjure up in midfield? Nothing because of the slip. Kenya, Cooper. And where is that going to bounce out? It's not. Francois Steyn will have a pretty easy tidy up here. We saw him punting the ball in practice, only kicking it about 70 meters, Joel.
Easily, without very little effort. And this was great defense from South Africa. Nice and patient, took the space, came up in a line, came up together. Sean Smith stepped in a fraction early there, but Steyn was across quickly to cover, and ultimately the rush defense forcing the error.
Well, Francois Steyn's the man who booted it down to there. Now O'Connor, good line of defense by the Springboks. Beale looking for an option. Steyn can drive it back again. Good little step by him. Now he gets it to Hougaard. Remember, he operated for most of the Super 14 on the wing, so no stranger to being out there. Berger. Chance for Springboks to build up a bit. In goes Van der Linde. Now Juan Smith comes to the rescue. Gets it away to Spies. Steyn. Nice little dart by him. Up to halfway line. Francois Steyn. Little touch there. Now Habana. Then the double around by Jacques Ferry. Pick up by Juan Smith. Good continuity. Always lost it forward. Quade Cooper looks for the opportunity to counter. Now, where's Francois Steyn? Here he comes now. Is he going to kick this for goal? Here we go. Steady, steady. Bang! It's flying. Not in the direction he intended.
No advantage from the knock-on is what Alan Rolandos has ruled. Probably rightly so.
All the way back for an Australian scrum.
Well, the crowd would probably be thinking a little differently of that drop being straight and on line. Brian Habana did well. First real opportunity for him to show his skill, and then Ferry with a pace, cracking it on. Matt Gito worked so hard to get back there and help make the tackle. Jean de Villiers, Jean Smith, ever present, just losing it in contact. What has been of huge importance to both these teams tonight, and you might think this is a bizarre statement with so many tries having been scored already. The scramble defense, the number of tackles that have been made by players chasing back and working hard from both teams, has really been a huge contributor to what would have been a record score here.
Well, Butch James, for a moment you saw warming up there. He played in the test match here in 2001. Not sure quite at the moment who Butch James would replace. Certainly a very definite blast on his whistle by Alain Roland for the penalty to the Wallabies. Gito. We're down obviously into this last quarter, 15 and a bit minutes to go. As onto the field now comes Rob Simmons in the number 26 jersey, his fourth test cap. He wasn't on the bench originally. The man from the Queensland Reds, and Butch James replaces Francois Steyn. Now the crowd, the local crowd, aren't too happy with that lot because they've replaced their hero.
He actually had one of his best games this season so far in a green jersey, Hugh.
Quade Cooper trying to create and use his magic. Kenya for Slipper. Slipper's impressed, and no, in fact it wasn't Slipper, it was the other man who came through, Bell McCalman. Kenya, Gito, McCalman again.
Away, Green!
Plenty of replacements on the field now as the pace starts to get to them. Gito, always creative, Matt Gito. Quade Cooper. And Francois Steyn has to move a bit, and it'll be Wallaby line out.
Well, again, it's the vision of Matt Gito, seeing a bit of space, getting 3/4 of the way through the gap, and then changing tactics. Quade Cooper, the little grubber through. Crowd unhappy about something.
No, Francois Steyn was maintaining that it was Springbok put into the lineup, but I don't agree with the Springbok fullback, I'm afraid.
It certainly looked like he carried it into touch.
So it's defend time for the men in green, attack for the men in gold. Dani Rousseau, was that a knock-on or a tap-down? Certainly a win or stolen ball by the Springbok line-out.
Stay!
Hougaard, Burger. Hougaard again, James. And first touch by Butch James, pretty successful. Here goes Kurtley Beale. He's been a box of tricks tonight. But it's Jean de Villiers who has him. So the players up to the halfway line, and South Africa can boot themselves into a 6-point lead here. And Nathan Sharp is unhappy, but that guy is ecstatic.
Jacques Fourie getting the pats on the back from his teammates.
Skipper?
So no sooner have they taken Morné Steyn off, but Francois Steyn will have to step up to the mark. Francois Steyn has hit it well. The crowd behind the uprights are on their feet, and Francois Steyn has kicked it, much to Morné Steyn's satisfaction.
Well, the way he bent down to pick up the kicking tee, I thought he'd missed it.
Habana, O'Connor gave chase very quickly. Habana's done well. Created a little bit of space.
Yes,
now
inside.
those pods start forming as Dani Rousseau takes it up. Hougaard, James. Now Kenya will move it into midfield to Kurtley Beale. Chance here for Cooper. Beale, good defence again by South Africa. Worked out here to Ashley Cooper. Thumping tackle by Jean de Villiers, been terrific tonight. Now it's Kenya, nowhere to go. Chili boy had him. Penalty, Australia. Now this will be an interesting decision, Joel. Kick for touch, kick for goal.
Wow, still 11 minutes left. Matt Gito should have the distance. Well, it's not for goal, that's the call.
Well, the Tri-Nations is done and dusted. They're playing for pride now. And the Wallabies trying to break this Highveld hoodoo, not having won since 1963 on the Highveld. They lost here at Loftus, but they won a test in 1963 at Ellis Park. Fainga with the throw. Is that an early jump? No, it's an awful shambles at that line out. Of course, the Springboks will be saying free kick. The crowd are on their feet, screaming and shouting and gesticulating.
Stay down until it goes. On the touch, Judge.
Moving up to the 10-minute mark. Australians still to play side. Matfield stolen the ball to the great cheer of the crowd as he captains the Springboks now in his 100th test. Hougaard. Oh, then what happened there? Well, Francois Hougaard must have been a little worried for a moment, but Alain Roland, a former scrum half himself.
I think it's a knock-on at the line-out. He's a judge. Francois Hougaard looking for Butch James. Obviously, he's a young scrum half who hasn't spent too much time playing with Butch James as a half-back partner. And just caught man and ball there as he was looking around trying to find out where his number 10 was.
Touch, pause, engage.
Strong scrum, Spies. Good defence. Kenya was involved in there. Hougaard, James, Elsom did the chasing. And that's a great clearance by Butch James, quickly in by Mitchell to Beale. Mitchell and Peterson and Ralapella there up to the mark on defence. Now O'Connor. Who's he got? He's got Pocock. Bam, bam, Pocock. Now Fainga. Good build-up this by the Wallabies. Good ball control. Kenya goes and Spies makes the tackle. Worked out by Simmons. Pocock tries to burst through once more. Good control by the Wallaby forwards. Chili Boy trying to get his hands on the ball. Kenya, Cooper, Gito. And now O'Connor, Mitchell on the outside. Oh, he nearly dropped it, but did well. Good defence. De Villiers has been fantastic on defence tonight. Now they've got forwards in midfield. They've got to be a little bit careful on defence here as Cooper moves it wide here to Slipper. Juan Smith. Now Cooper once again. Who accelerates and the Springboks are extended. Kenya. That looked like it was rolled forward. Yes, it rolled forward. Have the Springboks got the energy to counter here? As Butch James has a look and decides to go the safe route.
And when he looked up, you could see he was thinking this has got to go into the crowd. Hanneke Meyer looking on, but the kicker Butch James just deciding we can't keep on having a counter-attack because it's not in the crowd. Make sure it's far enough out that back three can't start again.
So, and a lot of tired forwards line up in front of you.
10 more minutes, that's all they're going to go. At the rate the Springboks are playing, they realise the importance of this game. They got a chance of closing off shop. They failed last week, and yet Loftus looks like they will be coming through.
Well, the old adage is not over till somebody sings.
And it's not Talks van der Linde this evening.
Well, Jack, the Australians go again. Kenya, Slipper. I've been impressed with Slipper's contribution. Fainga stopped by Chili Boy. One of the Springboks went in hard there. Scrum ball, South Africa. Chili Boy is, well, they're smiling are the Springboks.
Well, they can't afford to smile now. It's been a massive defensive effort this evening, particularly the second half. And Chili Boy Ralapella replacing the captain, John Smith, has been of huge impact. This is the big tackle now. Driving backs, Fainga in the tackle.
Well, if you were looking for parking in the first 4 minutes at a restaurant or a club or somewhere, after 4 minutes, Australia 14-0 up. And then the Springboks slowly came back.
Touch, pause, engage.
Spies can't get past Elsom. Good hands by Hougaard. Good tackle by Pocock. Now Smith Away for Rousseau. What was wrong there?
Little knock on at the back from Joan Smith as he tried to collect.
Well, it's certainly not over. 6-point lead for South Africa. 7 points will win it for Australia. Still the same back division for Australia. It's only in the forwards that made the changes, Joel.
Well, it's a very settled back line. And as much as Adam Ashley Cooper has not spent a lot of time at 13, it's a back line that know each other well enough to continue as they are.
Well, Hougaard's working well along there. As McCalman gets the penalty for his hard work. Well, decision time for Rocky Elsom again. I'm sure he'll go down to the touchline. It was good work there by McCalman.
And again, it's a good touch finder. South Africa are going to have to finish this game defending like Trojans once again. 4 minutes, 6 points, the difference. It's been a massive defensive effort in the second half. Australia have had a little bit more of the possession. South Africa have had to make a lot more tackles. 73 they've had to make against Australia's 58.
Elsom at the front. It goes to Mum. Kenya, good pass to Cooper. Oh, thumping tackle in midfield.
Butch James.
It was a Butch James special, that. Now Elsom. De Villiers stops him before the 22. Elsom's driven it forward strongly. Still South Africa, hold on. Kenya. Obstruction, and the Springboks, I would say, by Francois Steyn, could boot it down towards the 22 of the Wallabies.
Well, he's ruled it an accidental obstruction.
Accidental, so it'll be a scrum.
Yeah, well, it's very difficult to say. The Springboks thought it was a penalty. And I think they were thinking if it is a penalty, Frans Steyn can bang it 60 metres down the field. Butch James got up very slowly after that last tackle, definitely feeling the effects of the big hits. 3 minutes, it's going to mean Australia going to have one last, maybe two last opportunities to counter-attack from a deep kick.
In a way, I'm a little surprised Frans Steyn isn't in the fly half position, because he's got this enormous boot on him. But Butch James, has he found touch? No, he hasn't. Now, chance for Beale to counter. Good line of defence for the Springboks. Drew Mitchell, Ashley Cooper, Giteau, and Jacques Fourie grabbed a piece of cloth. In the side by South Africa, worked out by Ashley Cooper. Good hands there by Kenya. Now can the forwards build something for Australia here? It needs a moment of magic by somebody. Will it be Ashley Cooper? And again, he's stopped in his tracks. Now Simmons. Nearly down to 2 minutes to go. CJ van der Linde stays down. Now Giteau. But they've got those men on the outside playing the ball on the ground a little bit, and Hougaard finds a little bit of space. Now this is his magic. Here goes Spies. Where is he going to go? Because Havana's up there. Now Hougaard. This is it. John de Villiers from midfield. Peterson. Can Peterson run it in? Yes, he can. Unbelievable!
Well, it's his first little bit of open space in the whole game for JP Peterson. Still had a fair bit to do. The handling from the forwards, from Victor Matfield in particular, slick. Jean de Villiers, who's had a big game, read the fact that he had a pace man on his outside. Freed it up quickly, and South Africa will celebrate this evening.
Well, and this is a terrific breakout.
Absolutely, but yeah, the rugby brains coming through for South Africa. This time around, created the opportunity, were clinical, able to execute, and the crowd once again are back on their feet. A contrast to where you start off the game. They're quiet, still in their seat, not sure what to happen, but this time around, back on their feet, as JP Peterson finishes for South Africa.
So JP Peterson gets his, what is it now, his 12th try in international rugby. John Smith back on the field as Butch James becomes South Africa's third place kicker. But wow, this crowd in front of me celebrating. They're all on their feet.
It's going to be all over after this kick, Abby, all right? Just sound the hooter.
4 losses at the start of the Tri-Nations. South Africa have never lost every Tri-Nations game in the 15 years that it's been going. And now the time is up. And so South Africa will keep their unbeaten record at Loftus as Butch Jones kicks the conversion that makes absolutely certain the final whistle has gone, and Owen, an epic battle comes to an end.
Yes, Hugh, it has, but what a test match. The people here at Pretoria celebrating Victor Matfield's 100th, and the Boks did it in style. Great game out here, Hugh.
Well, it certainly was a wonderful, wonderful test match, particularly from South Africa's point of view. Early tries by Chenya, then O'Connor, then by O'Connor again, and then Dean Munn came into the situation. 28-24 it was at half-time. And there are Victor Matfield's family, his wife and 2 kids. And Victor Matfield will come down. I don't know who the man of the match is. Sporting gestures by the Wallaby players on Victor Matfield. And we're going to be going away in a very short moment back to the studio. But then we will be back with all the interviews, the man of the match presentation, and terrific work there by Sharp. So a very sporting Australian side. Remember, they came here, they contributed in a massive way. They only got 3 points in the second half, and South Africa ran it away. And so we will be going back to Randburg. A wonderful, wonderful test match. See you later.